Welcome to the 119th regular convocation of Memorial University of Newfoundland, coming to you from the Arts and Culture Centre in St. John's. Approximately 1,000 degrees will be conferred in the 4 sessions of convocation this fall. The first session took place on October 4th in Corner Brook, where degrees were conferred on more than 60 graduates, most of whom had completed degree programs at Memorial University's Grenfell campus. In this 4th and final session taking place on Thursday evening, October 18th, there will be the conferring of the degrees of Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Special Education, Bachelor of Education Post-Secondary, Bachelor of Education Intermediate and Secondary, Bachelor of Education Primary, Elementary, Bachelor of Music Education, Master of Education, Master of Music, Master of Arts in Education, Education in Francophone Literatures and Cultures, Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Psychology. 2 retired professors recently named Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita will be presented at this session of convocation. Doctors Gerard Martin and Anne Story, both from the Faculty of Science. This session of convocation is being presided over by Dr. Susan Knight, Chancellor of Memorial University. The academic procession is led by University Marshal Bert Riggs, retired from the University Library's archives, Marshals Derek House of the Marine Institute, Brian Johnston, retired, and Donna Walsh, Department of English Language and Literature. The mace, a symbol of the authority vested in the university, is carried by Dr. David Pippi, Office of the Registrar. Convocation will be officially open when the mace is placed on the table in front of the presiding officer. The music for convocation is provided by Dr. David Bewley from Memorial's Faculty of Education and by members of the Munn Opera Workshop, directed by Carolyn Schiller and Eldon Murray of Memorial School of Music.
Be seated. I would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. I would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Unatuhavut and the Innu of Nitassinan and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation as we honor this beautiful land together. It's my pleasant task now to declare your convocation open, and I'm going to invite our President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gary Kaczynowski, to address convocation.
Chancellor, members of the Board of Regents, members of the Senate and faculty, members of the graduating class, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2018 Fall Convocation of Memorial University. We're so pleased that you've joined us for what is always a special time in the life of a university, a time when we celebrate the success of our students. So, of course, a special welcome and congratulations to every one of you, our graduating students. I know that your parents and families and friends and professors all played supporting roles in your success, and they are all here to celebrate your accomplishments. But make no mistake, ultimately, it was your dedication, hard work, and talent that brought you here today. So congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating all of our graduating students. Joining us on stage tonight is Mr. Rex Gibbons, a member of the Board of Regents of Memorial University. All of our regents volunteer their time, and there are a number of them here tonight, and they contribute significantly to the governance of our university. Would you please join me in welcoming and acknowledging our regents? Tonight, we are also pleased to recognize two retired professors from our Department of Psychology, Faculty of Science, Dr. Gerard Martin and Dr. Anne Story, who were recently accorded the distinguished title Professor Emeritus by Memorial University Senate and Board of Regents. Our professors emeriti have given their academic, scholarly, and professional lives in service to Memorial University's mission. They have inspired generations of students and helped build this fine institution. On behalf of the entire Memorial University community, I offer sincere congratulations to Drs. Martin and Story, and you will be hearing a little more about them a little later as well. I'm also pleased to acknowledge recent changes to our academic leadership team. Just last month, Dr. Linda Rohr was appointed Dean of the School of Human Kinetics and Recreation. For the past 14 years at Memorial, Dr. Rohr has been an academic staff member in the school and most recently also served as Associate Dean Undergraduate Studies of the School of Human Kinetics and Recreation. And in April, we welcomed a new Dean of Pharmacy, Dr. Sean Bugden. Dr. Bugden comes to Memorial from the University of Manitoba, where he was an associate professor in the College of Pharmacy, Faculty of Health Sciences, and an adjunct scientist in the Manitoba Centre of Health Policy in their College of Medicine. Next month, we will welcome Dr. Gavin Watson as the new director of the Centre for Innovation in Teaching and Learning. Dr. Watson comes to us from Western University, where he most recently served as Associate Director, E-Learning in the Centre for Teaching and Learning and as Adjunct Research Professor in the Centre for Research on Teaching and Learning in Higher Education. Please join me in welcoming our new senior academic leaders. Finally, I would like to acknowledge longtime Memorial Professor, Professor Emeritus, and official University Public Orator, Shane O'Day, who has announced that he will retire from his oration duties. Professor O'Day began as an orator in 1982, became public orator in 1995, and since that time has delivered dozens of orations, never an easy task. Ingredients of a good oration include humor, inspiration, narrative, and brevity, all while communicating a glowing resume of the honoree's accomplishments. Professor O'Day never failed to deliver. He is a true wordsmith with a flair for oration. He has said that he's enjoyed every oration he prepared, no matter how difficult some may have been. On behalf of the entire Memorial University community, I offer my sincere thanks to Professor O'Day for his more than 3 decades of leadership, dedication, and contributions to successful memorial convocations. Would you please join me in thanking him? Every degree conferred today is the result of a personal journey requiring significant commitment and work, and by itself is worthy of considerable accolades as an important milestone in each student's life. In particular, however, I'm pleased to acknowledge our PhD and Doctor of Psychology students graduating here tonight. The attainment of these degrees is a singular achievement, an extraordinary commitment of time, emotional energy, and financial resources towards the fulfillment of a lifelong quest. We have invited our PhD and Doctor of Psychology graduates to join the faculty on stage as a small gesture of our regard for their remarkable achievements. Please join me in extending our congratulations to them. Every year, our students amaze us with leadership and achievements above and beyond their required programs or responsibilities that distinguishes them at a national or international level. Our 2011 Teaching and Learning Framework highlighted our aspirations for our students. It also articulated the vision, core values, and principles of our approach to teaching and learning, and described the characteristics of a vibrant teaching and learning community at Memorial. The framework's foundational statement placed students and student learning at the center of everything we do. It acknowledged explicitly that our social contract to educate our students is at the core of all our activities, including research and scholarship and public engagement. And it is through this student focus that we set our priorities and fulfill our mandate as a nationally competitive public teaching research university. And having realized key objectives of our original teaching and learning framework, Memorial is looking to the future with a renewed teaching and learning framework for 2018 to 2023. Approved by Memorial's Academic Senate just last week, this new guiding document continues Memorial's commitment to innovation and excellence in teaching and learning, with a new focus on a transformative student experience that integrates accessibility, engagement, and student success. The renewed framework requires Memorial's teaching and learning resources and capabilities to come together more formally and effectively through collaboration and interdisciplinary initiatives. It also integrates activities of Memorial's other two foundational frameworks in research and public engagement, which then together serve to fulfill the university's mission under the guidance of our institutional values. To support the implementation of the renewed framework and promote leadership in teaching and learning across the university, Memorial's CITL, the Center for Innovation in Teaching and Learning, will take on a more central role and a broader mandate and vision. And a new multi-stakeholder advisory committee will help CITL foster critical relationships and build capacity to support teaching and learning. This work involved broad consultation and an incredible effort, and I would like to thank Dr. Noreen Golfman, Provost and Vice President Academic, and her tremendous team, chaired by Dr. Rob Shea, Associate Vice President Academic for the Marine Institute, and Dr. Kim Myrick from CITL, who helped craft the final framework. Would you please join me in congratulating their leadership and accomplishments? We tell our stories of success and achievements throughout the year in our alumni magazine Luminous, on our Gazette news site, and of course each year in our online President's Report. Together, they tell the story of the incredible impact of the exceptional people at Memorial University and how, as active, engaged citizens, they make the world a better place to live, safer, more prosperous, and definitely more interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, our university's origin, our vision, mission, foundational frameworks, and core values paint a picture of who we were, who we are, and what we aspire to become. Memorial is focused on meeting the needs of our students, developing innovative living and learning spaces, building and renewing appropriate infrastructure for 21st century teaching, research, and public engagement, and making a difference in our communities. The university embodies the aspirations of those who founded Memorial University College in 1925, to be a living legacy to those who paid the ultimate price for our freedom in the First World War and in subsequent conflicts. A living legacy dedicated to the advancement of our society through education and the discovery of new knowledge. Graduates, you are part of this legacy. You walked into this hall today as students who have successfully completed your requirements of your degrees. You will leave as graduates of Memorial University, as alumni, joining a family of more than 90,000 strong. You have earned the rights and the privileges associated with your degree, and now this is your time to take to heart the responsibilities that also come with your degree and make your mark in Newfoundland and Labrador, across the country and around the globe. Best wishes to each of you as you leave here today to begin the next adventures in your lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me once again in congratulating our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Kaczynowski. We shall now proceed with the conferring of your degrees. I'm going to address the people who accompanied you here tonight that are behind you and around you. I have a special favor to ask. We have many students crossing the stage here this evening, each one being extremely special to folks in the audience. But in order to make the evening flow, may I call on you to resist clapping until the end of each section has gone through, unless some special circumstance is mentioned. And then I promise you can raise the roof as long as you don't break the bulbs. That would be a nice little bill to pay, I think. I would appreciate that you would do that. And graduates, I wonder what is going to be the story of your Convocation Day. I generally suggest something around the idea to all the graduates as they're about to convocate to create for themselves some inner vision, some of what the specialness of that day is for you. We go to all this formality and specialness to honor you, to honor your journey, your effort, your success, and the importance of you in the world going forth from this place. And we are delighted that so many people come to Memorial to their convocations. And so what will be special for you? Just inviting you to bring attention to the night in a way that you might not otherwise do. Maybe it's something that you're going to notice that you can hold as very special. Maybe it's something that occurs to you tonight because of the night. Maybe it's an idea. Maybe it's a special sense of gratitude. It could be anything, but something special that marks this story of yours so that it will have meaning in generations to come. And here's the stage. I'm delighted that people take their time to come across and enjoy it and savor it. And, you know, I did teach young children for a lot, well, I've taught old children, like 85-year-olds too. But in my life, I've learned a great deal from children. And one of the important things is that we are always complete people in every stage of our life. We're not partial people waiting to be completed at every given stage, notwithstanding the development that is always going on. So you are complete here and there, but something very special happens here in the middle, the acknowledgement of your work and your procession into another important, contributive, and thoughtful time in your lives. So I hope you have fun and a wonderful time. So I get to meet each one of you now in a few minutes.
Madam Chancellor, in the name of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates for the undergraduate degrees approved for this session of convocation. I have certified to the Senate that these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements pertaining to the degrees. I therefore request that you admit them thereto.
On the authority of the Senate, I, as Chancellor, will now admit the candidates to these degrees and confer upon them all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which belong thereto. I call upon them, on the hearing of their name, to present themselves before me to assume the hood appropriate to the degree.
For the degree of Bachelor of Music, Susanna Jeanette Mackenzie Sutter.
Susanna Jeanette Mackenzie Sutter is from Georgetown, Ontario.
For the degree of Bachelor of Special Education, Luke John Burt.
Luke John Burt is from Stephenville.
David Craig Collins.
David Craig Collins is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Megan Nicole Calloway.
Megan Nicole Calloway is from Victoria.
Kara Halinka Nicole Langdon.
Kara Halinka Nicole Langdon is from Mount Pearl.
Tracy Rebecca Ann Lawrence.
Tracy Rebecca Ann Lawrence is from Goulds.
Karen Don McDonald.
Karen Dawn McDonald is from St. John's.
Alicia Joette Wells.
Alicia Joette Wells is from Bonavista.
And those who have been approved by the Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Bachelor of Education, Native and Northern, candidate in absentia.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Bachelor of Education, Post-Secondary, candidates in absentia.
Admitted in absentia.
For the Bachelor of Degree of Bachelor, for the degree, of Bachelor of Education, Intermediate Secondary, Kylie Joanna Beals.
Kylie Joanna Beals is from Lansaloo.
Tyler Bruce Butt.
Tyler Bruce Butt is from Bloomfield.
Nicholas John Button.
Nicholas John Button is from Paradise.
Kelsey Nicole Crane.
Kelsey Nicole Crane is from Clark's Beach.
Chelsea Deanne Culleton.
Chelsea Deanne Culleton is from Greens Harbor.
Jessica Janet Diamond.
Jessica Janet Diamond is from Lethbridge.
Jonathan Edmund Dunn.
Jonathan Edmund Dunn is from Corner Brook.
Sarah Elsie Alice Harvey.
Sarah Elsie Alice Harvey is from Middle Arm.
Matthew Raymond Hicks.
Matthew Raymond Hicks is from Conception Bay South.
Zachary Paul Hurley.
Zachary Paul Hurley is from St. John's.
Tony Danielle Keats.
Tony Danielle Keats is from Dover.
Victoria Ann Legg.
Victoria Ann Legg is from St. John's.
Samantha Caitlin Morey.
Samantha Caitlin Morey is from Port Anson.
Brad Logan Murray.
Brad Logan Murray is from Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Jordan Michael Noseworthy.
Jordan Michael Noseworthy is from Badger.
Katie Elizabeth O'Brien.
Katie Elizabeth O'Brien is from St. John's.
Samantha Bridget O'Leary.
Samantha Bridget O'Leary is from Avondale.
Grant Thomas Leo Payne.
Grant Thomas Leo Payne is from Placentia.
Abigail Colleen Penton.
Abigail Colleen Penton is from Stephenville.
Brandon Fraser Petton.
Brandon Fraser Petton is from Bay Roberts.
Samantha Nicole Pitts.
Samantha Nicole Pitts is from Bell Island.
Charmaine Mona Pin.
Charmaine Mona Pin is from Holyrood.
David Clifford Roberts.
David Clifford Roberts is from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Brittany Ray Russell, winner of the University Medal for Academic Excellence in Intermediate Secondary Education.
Brittany Ray Russell is from St. John's.
Casey Christina Stone.
Casey Christina Stone is from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's.
Noel Kent Tilley.
Noel Kent Tilley is from St. John's.
Brady Brian Turner.
Brady Brian Turner is from Witless Bay.
Dominique Kristen Viscount.
Dominique Kristen Viscount is from Dunville.
Sarah Jessica Webb.
Sarah Jessica Webb is from Gander.
And those who've been approved by the Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Bachelor of Education, Primary Elementary. Krista Nicole Barber.
Krista Nicole Barber is from Portugal Cove, St. Philip's.
Victoria Elizabeth Bennett.
Victoria Elizabeth Bennett is from Labrador City.
Erin Leah Blake.
Erin Lee Blake is from Paradise.
Raquel Carolyn Bogdan.
Raquel Carolyn Bogdan is from St. John's.
Kelsey Catherine Schmel.
Kelsey Catherine Schmiel is from Gould's.
Kirsten Victoria Corbin.
Kirsten Victoria Corbin is from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Michelle Marie Daw.
Michelle Marie Daw is from Corner Brook.
Danielle Elizabeth Selena Eddy.
Danielle Elizabeth Selena Eddy is from Conception Bay South.
Kayla Nicole Ellis.
Kayla Nicole Ellis is from St. John's.
Sarah Michelle Fontaine.
Sarah Michelle Fontaine is from St. John's.
Lisa Olivia Giovini.
Lisa Olivia Giovannini is from St. Lawrence.
Katie Victoria Hayward.
Katie Victoria Hayward is from Mount Pearl.
Susanna Christine Healy.
Susanna Christine Healy is from Holyrood.
Caitlin Ann Hoyles.
Caitlin Ann Hoyles is from St. John's.
Robin Ariel Piraway.
Robin Ariel Paraway is from Corner Brook.
Matthew Aubrey Pike.
Matthew Aubrey Pike is from Mount Pearl.
Michaela Mary Cal Quinlan.
Michaela Mary Cal Quinlan is from Mount Pearl.
Erin Louise Slade.
Erin Louise Slade is from Grand Falls, Windsor.
Christy Thomas.
Christy Thomas is from Kings Point.
Amber Lynn Christine Thorne.
Amber Lynn Christine Thorne is from Thornley.
Jasmine Leanne Young.
Jasmine Leanne Young is from Springdale.
And those who have been approved by the Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Bachelor of Music Education, candidate in absentia.
Admitted in absentia.
Madam Chancellor, in the name of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates for graduate degrees approved for this session of convocation. I have certified to the Senate that these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements pertaining to the degrees. I therefore request that you admit them thereto.
On the authority of the Senate, I, as Chancellor, will now admit the candidates to these degrees and confer upon them all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which belong thereto. I call upon them on the hearing of their name to present themselves before me to assume the hood appropriate to the degree.
For the degree of Master of Education, Benjamin Nicholas Adams.
Benjamin Nicholas Adams is from Roddickton.
Michael Peter Barnable.
Michael Peter Barnable is from St. John's.
Bukola Florence Boluwade.
Bukola Florence Boluwade is from St. John's.
Adrian Jane Gemina Bradley.
Adrienne Jane Gemina Bradley is from Mount Pearl.
Trudy Ann Marie Brown.
Trudy Ann Marie Brown is from St. John's.
Kimberly Elizabeth Casey.
Kimberly Elizabeth Casey is from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Nancy Sheila Conway.
Nancy Sheila Conway is from St. John's.
Tina Marie Crane.
Tina Marie Crane is from Bay Bulls.
Jillian Elizabeth Daw.
Jillian Elizabeth Daw is from St. John's.
Stephanie Dooley.
Stephanie Dooley is from Carbonear.
Susan Louisa Dolton.
Susan Louisa Dolton is from St. John's.
Christopher Patrick Doyle.
Christopher Patrick Doyle is from St. John's.
Namdi Kingsley Enemwo.
Namdi Kingsley Enemo is from St. John's.
Jennifer Suzanne Graham.
Jennifer Suzanne Graham is from Paradise.
Michelle Marie Hickman.
Michelle Marie Hickman is from Grand Bank.
David Alexander Graves.
David Alexander Graves is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Michael Bruce Hicks.
Michael Bruce Hicks is from Botwood.
Marlene Patricia Howlett.
Marlene Patricia Howlett is from Torbay.
Melissa Hulda Hussey.
Melissa Hulda Hussey is from St. John's.
Sana Jamil.
Sana Jamil is from St. John's.
Amanda Catherine Kane.
Amanda Catherine Kane is from New West Valley.
Jennifer Leah Keats.
Jennifer Leah Keats is from Hare Bay.
Allison Lisa Michelle Keeping.
Allison Lisa Michelle Keeping is from Torbay.
Heather Janine Kelly.
Heather Janine Kelly is from Conception Bay South.
Karen Noel Kelly Rose.
Karen Noel Kelly Rose is from Fort McMurray, Alberta.
Tara Ryan Kennedy.
Tara Ryan Kennedy is from Happy Valley Goose Bay.
Jessica Marion Ledwell.
Jessica Marion Ledwell is from St. John's.
Tresha Althea Morehouse.
Tresha Althea Morehouse is from St. John's.
Karen Marie Mulrooney.
Karen Marie Mulrooney is from St. John's.
Alicia Marie Murphy.
Alicia Marie Murphy is from Dunville.
Atusa Nourizad.
Atusa Nourizad is from Bandar e Anzali, Iran.
Adegbenga Samuel Ojo.
Adegbenga Samuel Ojo is from Ifan Alaya, Nigeria.
Nicole Marie Organ.
Nicole Marie Organ is from Steady Brook.
James David Pelly.
James David Pelly is from St. John's.
Jody Ann Penny.
Jody Ann Penny is from St. John's.
Melissa Bridget Pittman.
Melissa Bridget Pittman is from Fox Harbor.
Hannah Mary Power.
Hannah Mary Power is from Witless Bay.
Millie Yvette Regular Brown.
Millie Yvette Regular Brown is from St. John's.
Candace Rideout.
Candace Rideout is from Portugal Cove.
Gary Russell Rideout.
Gary Russell Rideout is from Paradise.
Ria Angeline Godine Rombo.
Ria Angeline Godine Rombo is from Montreal, Quebec.
Jillian Kavina Rousel.
Jillian Kavina Rousel is from St. John's.
Peggy Corrine Sacre.
Peggy Corrine Sacre is from Clarenville.
Miriam Shaheen.
Miriam Shaheen is from St. John's.
Jana Jill Slaney.
Jana Jill Slaney is from St. Lawrence.
Cheryl Dawn Thorne.
Cheryl Dawn Thorne is from Paradise.
Crystal Diane Weber.
Crystal Diane Weber is from Cupid's.
Melissa Frances Welcher.
Melissa Frances Welcher is from Conception Bay South.
Jared White.
Jared White is from Buren.
Paula Marie Witten.
Paula Marie Whitten is from St. John's.
Adam Philip Wingate.
Adam Philip Wingate is from Oshawa, Ontario.
And those who have been approved by the Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Master of Music, candidate in absentia.
Admitted in absentia.
Madam Chancellor, in the name of the Senate of the University, I present to you the candidates for doctoral degrees, the highest earned degrees conferred by this university. I have certified to the Senate that these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements pertaining to the degrees. I therefore request that you admit them thereto.
On the authority of the Senate, I, as Chancellor, will now admit the candidates to these degrees and confer upon them all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities which belong thereto. I call upon them, on the hearing of their name, to present themselves before me, to assume the hood appropriate to the degree.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Maysam Amani.
Misam Amani is from Ehar, Iran, electrical engineering.
Luke Bown.
Luke Bone is from Brownsdale, biology.
Samantha Dawn Breslin.
Samantha Dawn Breslin is from St. John's, anthropology.
Debashis Dutta.
Debashis Dutta is from Kitchener, Ontario, social work.
Benjamin David Scott Fowler.
Benjamin David Scott Fowler is from Riverview, New Brunswick, computer science.
Barbara Lynn Gilbert Mulcahy.
Barbara Lynn Gilbert Mulcahy is from St. John's. Education.
Yunhui He.
Yunhui He is from Zhejiang, China. Mathematics.
Nasser Haidari.
Nasser Haidari is from Shush, Iran. Mathematics.
Somaye Kajapur Tadavani.
Somaye Kajapur Tadavani is from St. John's. Condensed matter physics.
Cheng Li.
Cheng Li is from Kunming, China.
Sahel Madavi.
Sahel Madavi is from Tehran, Iran. Electrical engineering.
Sarah Rose Linda Minnis.
Sarah Rose Linda Minnis is from Rastoul, Ontario, interdisciplinary.
Bipul Chandra Modal.
Bipul Chandra Mondal is from St. John's, civil engineering.
Wan Young O.
Wang Wang O is from St. John's. Food science.
Siva Prasad.
Siva Prasad is from Ernakulam, India. Electrical engineering.
Nadim Saklain.
Nadim Saklain is from St. John's, education.
Mohammed Torabi.
Mohammed Torabi is from St. John's, computer engineering.
Joshua Turner.
Joshua Turner is from St. John's, ocean and naval architectural engineering.
Semra Yalson.
Semra Yalson is from St. John's. Biology.
Judong Yo.
Yudong Yo is from St. John's. Food science.
And those who have been approved by the Senate for the degree but are absent from this convocation.
Admitted in absentia.
For the degree of Doctor of Psychology, candidate in absentia.
Admitted in absentia. As you can see, we're going to have a treat now, a musical offering, which is part of every convocation. These students of the School of Music are part of the Opera Workshop program, which is directed by Dr. Caroline Schiller and Eldon Murray of the School of Music. And various ones of them will sing solos and so forth, and we will acknowledge them all after. They are going to sing in Flanders Fields in commemoration of the 100 years of the First World War, which will end in 3 weeks. Not the war, but the commemoration thereof, which is the reason we're here. And they will also sing a song written by Aaron Copland. The Promise of Living it is, that is what it's called. you very much. Two very touching and enjoyable performances there. And could you just give a bow for us all? I know you all took part. A lovely bow. And to acknowledge, yeah, great. And the shy accompanists in behind the curtain, but luckily they were caught on the screen as well. So we thank you as well, and we're really lucky to have you. Thank you. Our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Noreen Goffman, to introduce the Professores Emeriti.
Madam Chancellor, the title of Professor Emeritus or Professor Emerita is a distinction accorded to retired members of faculty. To be eligible, a person must normally have served at least 10 years as a regular full-time faculty member and have held the rank of professor upon retirement. The prime criteria for nomination are a sustained and superlative record as a scholar, as a teacher, or as an academic administrator, or any combination of these. Dr. Gerard Martin is an exemplary scholar, academic administrator, and teacher. He began his career in the Department of Psychology at Memorial, where he received his bachelor's and master's degrees. He went on to earn his doctorate degree at Australian National University. He spent 38 years at Memorial, 20 of those as professor. His innovative research program in comparative cognition and learning enabled him to identify important behavioral and brain processes in spatial problem solving across many mammalian species. More recently, his research has extended to the development of a potential rat model of human Alzheimer's disease. It is evident from his authorship of more than 100 publications and conference presentations that many colleagues and students have been a recognized part of his research program. Dr. Martin has also been very committed to teaching, leading a full range of courses from introductory to graduate. His service record is similarly superlative. He served as Associate Dean of the Faculty of Science, Research and Graduate, as Interim Associate Dean, Administration and Undergraduate, and as department head at 3 different times. As an honorary research professor, Dr. Martin continues his research and is involved in collaborative work and student supervision. Madam Chancellor, I present to you for the distinction of Professor Emeritus Gerard Martin. Madam Chancellor, Dr. Anne Story earned her Bachelor of Science honors and MA degrees at the University of Manitoba and a PhD from the Institute of Animal Behavior, Rutgers University. She joined the Department of Psychology as a postdoctoral researcher and was appointed assistant professor, working for 38 years at Memorial as well, with nearly 20 of these at the rank of professor. Dr. Story's career includes significant scholarly contributions, dedication, and commitment to her students and extensive service to the department, the university, and her profession. Among the most notable of Dr. Story's accomplishments has been her innovative interdisciplinary research program on parenting, particularly in males, that cross-cuts a variety of species from humans to meadow voles. Her work in the hormonal basis of paternal behavior in human males has brought accolades and wide media coverage. Dr. Story served on many departmental and university committees. In particular, she was instrumental in developing and growing the very successful interdisciplinary graduate program in cognitive and behavioral ecology, and she served as its chair for many years. Outside Memorial, she has served on several evaluation committees of the Natural Sciences and Engineering Research Council. Dr. Story also holds the special designation of Honorary Research Professor at Memorial. Madam Chancellor, I present to you for the distinction of Professor Emerita Anne Story.
Here, and we're going to go off script for 1 second, unless you intended to say that Dr. Martin and Dr. Story have been married to each other for all these years as well. So, thank you. Well, that happy occasion, among many other happy occasions tonight, brings us to the end of the formal part of your celebration today. You probably had informal bits before and maybe some more informal bits to follow today. But I hope you have enjoyed your convocation time this evening. I hope it's memorable. It's very special for us. We owe you a debt of gratitude, each one of you. And I have to apologize that I didn't address you when I spoke earlier. I didn't realize that you were on the stage. I should have remembered that the doctoral folks were on the stage. So excuse my back from before. But we owe you a debt of gratitude on a couple of counts. Number one, you chose to come and study at Memorial, and you didn't have to do that. And in doing so, you have, every single day that you've been here, contributed to the growth and health of this wonderful institution. And we are very cognizant of that. And we're delighted that you are now connected to us through the alumni family of Memorial University. And I hope you always remember us, whether your work and your lives are here or whether they lead you elsewhere. I hope you always keep the place in mind. And so that is really the end this evening of the formal activities. I didn't mention yet this evening, and I like to mention it at least once in every convocation, our wonderful motto. How many of you are familiar with our motto? It's not a test, but it is a wonderful motto, and I think we should probably spend more time from the beginning of our association with you to know. But it's Provehito in altum, and for a place situated on the ocean, that is so appropriate, and also because of our ways of living and our the energy and effort it's always taken to live in this wonderful, challenging place. Provehito in altum, launch forth into the deep, which takes courage and confidence, and it's just always being aware of the great possibilities that are around you, and to be daring and to measure your risk. And I know that you will do that going forward. Something I said to the earlier classes that came through today. And quite a few people spoke to me after about it, which was interesting. So I was reared in the 50s, and it was really important that you always thought of others first. That was inculcated into you from, when you were very little. But I did say to the earlier groups today that it would never occur to you to argue against a policy of being compassionate, empathic, responsible, and dutiful to other people. And I'm going to suggest that you focus on those same goals to the development of the belief in yourself and your own strength. I had somebody say to me afterwards, they had been working in a very, very heavy job, and they took time to go to a less intense job just to get sort of sorted around and get their priorities straightened. And they said there was more anxiety involved in taking the easier job because of the perception that you weren't doing what you ought to be doing. And so you have to give yourself permission. And in that way, you'll grow your trust in yourself. And if you trust in yourself, that will carry your beliefs and your intent forward. It's such a pleasure every time we gather and a privilege to be in your company and just to imagine what you are going to be bringing into the world. We have folks in the room here who are very, very proud of you. I wonder if you would like to stand and let them congratulate you again. Would you stand? And now, how about you say thank you to them? That brings to an end our time together this evening, and I wish you very well in your future. We have great confidence in you and belief as you carry forward individually and collectively to make a better world. We're going to close with the singing of the first and last verses of the Ode to Newfoundland, which is on the inside cover of your convocation booklet.
Dr. Brent Snook, a professor of psychology in the Faculty of Science, recently received the Jeffrey Marshall Mentoring Award. It was given by the Northeastern Association of Graduate Schools for outstanding support of graduate students. He was selected over nominations from other member organizations in Canada and the U.S., including Yale, Dartmouth, Princeton, and Columbia. Emera Incorporated at Memorial University announced in September that the public engagement and innovation space at Memorial's new Signal Hill campus will be named the Emera Innovation Exchange. The naming recognizes a significant contribution of $7 million from Emera, an investment that will support innovation and entrepreneurship programming in Newfoundland and Labrador.